नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Sri Mahans, Mahans, Tanedars, Kotaris, sitting with us through Sadhana TV, Nityananda TV, Ara TV, and two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha. Cities sitting with us, having Nayana Diksha. Singapore, Houston, Vancouver, London, Grasse, France, Bangalore, Auckland, New Zealand, Dubai, Kastau, Croatia, Hong Kong, Hyderabad, Gupta Kashi, Trinidad, Tobago, China, Port Washington, New York, and Snehamayi, Varanasi, Phoenix, Toronto, Oman, Melbourne, Los Angeles, Ohio, Seattle, Guadalupe, Kuala Lumpur, San Jose, St. Louis, and some more cities. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I'll enter into the satsang. I'll continue to expand on the 8th verse of the Isavasya Upanishad. Please recite along with me. Saparyakach Shukram Akayam Avranam Asnaviram Suddhamabhaviddam Kavirmanishi Paribhu Swayambhur Yatatatya Tortan Vyadadaschaswadibhyaha Samabhyaha. I was expanding. Pure consciousness is all pervasive, beyond the coming and going, absolute, radiant and self-effulgent, unembodied, boundaryless whole, woundless, muscleless, having no incompletion with the body. Consciousness is the ever-pure space, devoid of the dirt of ignorance, beyond causal body, and is untouched by the delusion of incompletion. Listen. Today I wanted all of you to take up this as a Vakyartha Sadas. Subject and homework. Start working on unembodied, boundaryless whole, woundless, muscleless, having no incompletion with the body. Consciousness is ever pure space, devoid of dirt of ignorance, and is untouched by the delusion of incompletion, by the delusion of incompletion. Consciousness is the all-knowing seer of all, past, present, and future, the Lord of all minds. Consciousness transcends all beings. Consciousness is self-existent by itself. Actually, only first two lines will take so many days. Once you know the knack, now you can work on all these truths in 1 or 2 days. So by today and tomorrow, finish off all this by doing the homework of what is the pattern which makes me experience otherwise the Upanishad is describing as me. Please understand, listen. Upanishads know you much more than you know you. Upanishads know about you much more than you know about you. So Upanishads are declaring who you are, what you are. Who you are and what you are. Start living it. Start living it. Whatever you cognize as you other than what Upanishads have declared you as you, pen them all down. All the other cognitions are incompletions. All the other cognitions are incompletions. Understand? If Upanishads are declaring you are absolute radiant, anything tires you, anything brings boredom in you, anything stops your excitement, including your pains, sufferings, anything says otherwise, listen. Is incompletion. You need to complete with it. Upanishad says you are devoid of dirt of ignorance. You are devoid of dirt of ignorance. But if you think you are still ignorant in some space, somewhere in something, if you say, I don't know about that, then you need to get to the bottom of when you started uttering, I don't know. When you started declaring ignorance, I tell you, ignorance is declared first time in you when you do not want to know, not when you don't know. Listen. Go back to the first declaration of you on ignorance. When you declared, I don't know, first time in your life. Go back. You will see all that moments will be your conscious choice of not to know, does not want to know, or knowing feels like, oh, so much work. Or you hate knowing subtly, and you might be feeling you are only being used. Why should you know so much? For living, we don't have to do so much, and we don't have to know so much. Come on. What an embodiment of stupidity. So this is what is clearly saying yes to ignorance. No to consciousness and life, yes to ignorance. Your life is not just 40,000 rupees salary and a bike and a flat in the ECR road. Understand, your life does not end there. It is so stupid when you feel, why should I know so much? Why should I do so much? I tell you, wherever you are not challenged to know more, to do more, don't live there. You will be dead. Don't live there. That is hell. There is a beautiful verse in Tamil. Sola naadu sorudaithu Pandi naadu muttudaithu Sera naadu Vedamudaithu Tondai naadu Sandrorudaithu. Means the Chola kingdom is filled with grain, rice. Pandya kingdom is filled with pearls because it is ocean. They have a lot of beach. And Cheranadu, Kerala, is full of elephants because it is a hilly region. And Tondainadu, a place where I was born and brought up, the area of Kanchipuram, Thiruvannamalai, Chennai, all that zone. The Tondainadu, Sandrorudaithu, full of enlightened beings. Actually, when I was reading the history, all kings and queens, including Meenakshi's father, used to come to the Tondainadu and take people from here and settle them in their zones. That is the way the Nagarattar community has moved from Tondainadu to Cholanadu. All the kings used to do that. They will come here and take the people. When I was reading little detail about the history, how they were functioning, I thought, why Tondainadu has produced so much of enlightened beings? The system was such, in Tondainadu always your ignorance and inefficiency was challenged. The atmosphere was kept purposefully, the way constantly your ignorance and inefficiency, tiredness, boredom is challenged constantly. Too much of attention was given for knowledge and enlightenment, not for luxuries or conquering. Tondainadu never went around and conquered. They were more like a human nursery where beings have been cherished, grown. Tondainadu was full of Patashalas, Gurukuls, where people were growing, people were made to happen. Please understand, human beings are not just born, they are made to happen. If it is just birth, we can take a printout now. Anything which can be created, we can print it now. 3D printers have already come. If it is all just making, then we know how to put the male component and female component and send it into the printer and click print, and 3D print will come out. Technology has evolved. No. It is not making, it is happening, or making to happen. The being has to happen. That whole Tondaimandalam was mainly constantly challenging. I am telling you, don't live where your ignorance is not challenged. It is a hell, because without even your knowledge, you would have been destroyed. After 5 years, suddenly you will remember, oh God, where am I? If I was with Swamiji and Sangha, where I will be? How much I would have known? How much I would have lived? How much I would have been active? But your stupid mind thinks in a capitalistic way. Okay, even if I have known, done everything, what is there? The benefit goes to Sangha only. What is there for me? Stupid fellow. You being allowed to live here is the benefit for you. Being allowed to live among the great people who are already enlightened or working towards enlightenment is the blessing. Where constantly people come back to authenticity, integrity, responsibility, enriching. I don't want to say that my Swamis never miss authenticity, integrity, responsibility, enriching, but they always come back at least after 2-3 days and declare, from now I will be authentic, integrated. Morning I will get up and come to the yoga, satsang. So there is a mechanism to stand up again. From today again I will become authentic, integrated. Everyone comes back once in a week. The mechanism to come back, as I said, till you become tired of falling, I will not become tired of raising you. Understand? My job is raising you, your job is falling. But naturally you will only become tired, I will not become tired. You need to know too much. You need to know too much. You need to do too much. Not bringing your stupid incompletions about the results and the selfishness on the path of your knowing and doing is what Krishna says, karmanyevadhikaraste mabaleshu gatachanaha. You have a right to work, not to expect results, because when you expect results, you mess up your working. You mess up your working. Fantasizing about your results, you don't work. I tell you, once you completed fantasizing about your result, working will look very pale, dull, will not be inspiring, will not be exciting. One guru is a Matadipati, a head of one traditional mat. He came to meet me and he was just boasting, I have this, I have that, I have So many schools, colleges, engineering college, medical college, this, that. I just sat and listened. I just asked him, when you are being coronated? He said, 3 years before. In last 3 years, what did you do? No, I am just maintaining whatever my predecessors have done. I just laughed at him. This fellow lost the joy of the path, journey itself. It is such a punishment for him, I am telling you, to sit on the throne without he contributing. See, if he has also contributed, my predecessors have done all this. After I sat in the throne, I am doing all this. Then that seat is a blessing. Please understand, the day you come to the conclusion, knowledge is not required for your survival, being active is not required for your survival, you are dead. You are waiting to be buried. You are just waiting to be buried. Catch it. Understand what I am saying. So, let these silly ideas, that's the word I will use, not even incompletion. We should not give the status of incompletion for this thought. Silly idea. For surviving, why should I know so much? For surviving, why should I do so much? If somehow I catch one small department, sit and as a Tanedar, or I run away and get one job in one office as a clerk and get some 30,000-40,000 salary and one two-wheeler and one apartment, that is enough. For surviving, why should I know so much? For surviving, why should I do so much? This is what I call most silliest pattern in your life, with which most of human beings are stuck. Knowledge is a knowledge is a knowledge. Being active is being active is being active. Should not be judged, scaled, measured based on the returns. Income or the luxury or the comfort it is expected to bring. Knowledge should be for the sake of more knowledge. Work should be for the sake of more work. Work to get more work. Have knowledge to have more knowledge. Don't understand, whenever you try to use knowledge to achieve comforts and luxuries, nothing wrong. Saraswati can always bring you Lakshmi. But when Lakshmi becomes the goal of Saraswati, then starts ignorance. Wealth can always be achieved by knowledge, nothing wrong. But if just wealth becomes the goal of your knowledge, there stops your knowledge and ignorance starts. Listen. Let wealth and comfort not be the goal of your knowledge. The moment that becomes goal of your knowledge, your ignorance starts, because you start feeling, oh, others are all not that knowledgeable and they have so much of luxury. They have a big house and car, whatnot, and a private helicopter and everything. Then why should I have so much knowledge to have all that? How can I also get with less knowledge more luxury and comfortable. All this conspiracy, the conspiring tendencies and cunningness enters into your system. Please listen. The goal of the knowledge should not be wealth. Wealth can be achieved through knowledge, nothing wrong about it. But that should not be the decision-making factor for you constantly exploring knowledge. Knowledge itself is a taste, joy, excitement, experience. Only that person becomes embodiment of Saraswati, Maha Saraswati. Being active, Durga. Being active just to be more active. See, by being active, acquiring wealth is not wrong. Acquiring luxury is not wrong. But that alone should not be your goal. Then, the moment you have your basic needs and or wealth or luxury, you will just become inactive. You will plan cunning ways how to be less active, less doing, and more wealthy, more comfortable. World suffers just with this cunningness, silly thoughts. Not knowing, I tell you, knowledge and being active actually makes you living. That is one of the biggest pleasure. Thousands and thousands of times more than any romance or any luxury it can give you. I tell you, being active is 1,000 times more joyful, exciting than any of the so-called luxuries and comforts you have in your life. Having the love for knowledge is 1,000 times greater than any romance you will experience in your life. Romance itself is nothing but exploring the other person. When you feel you know the other, your romance is dead. I want to coin a new word, romance. It becomes. It ends just in one room. The excitement is not actually from the other person, it is actually from your excitement to explore and know. Excitement is always from knowledge. Understand? The moment you decide to have something else as the purpose of your knowledge, the ignorance starts in you, cunningness starts in you. When your teacher tells you to memorize the mathematic table and you think, wow, without the mathematic table itself, my friend has passed the exam, or my other friend is having his candy because his father is rich. Why should I memorize all this mathematic table? The moment you decide not to, that is when the layer of ignorance, the dirt of ignorance starts covering you. Maha Saraswati, the embodiment of knowledge, she is very clear. Only if you decide, she will put you in ignorance, not otherwise. Putting yourself in ignorance is out of your will. You are never pushed into ignorance. Listen. The 5 actions creating, maintaining, destroying, putting in ignorance and liberating. In these 5 actions, this putting in ignorance, you do it by your own. These 3, creation, maintenance, destruction. These 3 Mahadeva does from his cosmic form. Putting in ignorance, you do it on your own. Giving liberation, he assumes the form of Guru. Yes to the ignorance is not by anybody else, it is you. Go back and see, when was the first time you said yes to ignorance? Dig out the few patterns when first time you said yes to ignorance, and when all you started developing the pattern of saying yes to ignorance. Complete with them and break those patterns. Suddenly you will see, it is not that you will know only what you study, read. No. Suddenly multiple dimensions you will be knowing. Last few days, I am sitting and designing and redesigning the syllabus, redeveloping all the programs. I am upgrading all the programs with this 2 scale. It should be authenticated by Shastras, validated by the modern science. Every statement we make in our programs, every concept, theory, truth we teach in our programs, every action we ask you to do in our programs will be validated by the Shastras, the traditional Vedic scriptures, and will be validated by the modern day science. One of the biggest difficulty we found is science has not yet evolved to the level of spirituality, but we will evolve it. What is there? We only have to do that job also. I am sitting with some of my Sri Mahants, devotees, Mahants, and dictating the syllabus. One of my Sri Mahants was telling me, Swamiji, really I am surprised how much you know. Your intelligence is unmatching. And he was telling, if somebody comes and talks to you about the politics, you know the nitty-gritty and even the names of every individual who did what. And when you sit and give the quotations about the Shastras and Upanishads, you know the nitty-gritty of where, in which shelf the book is there to, which page you have to open and which line is the verse. Please understand, I have not earned this in a linear way. Knowledge is never linear. When you say yes to knowledge, you just break the ignorance which is linear. Ignorance is linear, knowledge is always vertical. It's just multidimensional. If you just penetrate the layer of the ignorance, suddenly the whole thing will be available to you. If you know about one handful of clay, you will know everything about the clay everywhere, anywhere in the world. If you just know few mental setups and source patterns, not root patterns, understand? Root patterns always makes you powerless. Source patterns always makes you powerful. The source patterns, root pattern means you say no to knowledge and develop that as a pattern, continue to suffer your whole life, become powerless. That is root pattern. Source pattern means you will learn how the world says no to knowledge and suffers forever, and have the solution to break that pattern. That is source pattern. Source pattern always empowers you. Knowledge about the source pattern empowers you. Root pattern just makes you powerless. Actually, ignorance about root pattern makes you powerless. When you have a knowledge about the root pattern, you will learn the source pattern. You will understand the source patterns of life. If you know the source patterns, you just know everything. Everything. So Upanishads are introducing yourself to yourself as you are ever pure space, devoid of the dirt of ignorance. So if you think you are ignorant, you are cognizing yourself opposite to what Upanishads declares you as you. That is not true. Sit and dig out the patterns. What makes you feel other than what Upanishad declares you as you? If you cognize yourself as Upanishad declares you, you are wise. Otherwise, you are otherwise. If you cognize yourself as Upanishad declares you, you are wise or otherwise. Let your reason for exploring knowledge not be the decision to acquire your comforts and luxury and settle down in your life. What is the meaning of that word settle down? Settle down means just being above the ground but doing everything as if you are already below the ground is settling down. That's the definition of settling down. If you are under the ground, sealed, how you will be? You trying to be in the same way, being above the ground is settling down. No, I have this big doubt about the great theory. Especially in India, this theory is very popular. After this stupid IT revolution, now, when I saw my grandfather, my great-grandmother, all of them, the concept of settling down does not exist for them. Good, I was brought up by them. Now this modern day, these IT fellows, they think, I'll work till 40 and retire. Make money, make a flat and a car and settle down by 40. What do you mean by settle down by 40? I'll quit the job and retire and settle down by 40. Means even while you start studying, acquiring knowledge, the goal is just to acquire some comforts and luxury and drop. What kind of inspiration you have about knowledge and life? I'm so happy. I was brought up by my grandfather, who went to his office even when he was 92 till the last day of his death by walk. He went to his office by walk in the morning, attended all his office daily routine. Till the last day he had the bunch of keys, means the whole control over the whole organization which he built from the beginning. and noon for lunch he came back to the house by walk as usual, had his lunch, rested and left the body. The purpose of being active or knowledge should not be just acquiring some wealth and luxury and comforts. Please understand, you can acquire wealth, luxury, comforts, everything with knowledge or being active. Nothing wrong. I am not saying don't acquire. I am only saying that alone should not be the purpose. Then your knowledge will be so heavy on you. You will only try to find constantly the cunning methods of how to know less and make more money. Because the purpose becomes money, wealth, luxury, comfort. You will know how to move your body very less and make more things, more or less like a buffalo. Moves minimum. Minimum movement. Even making one phone call becomes almost tired. I'll make one phone call a day. By the end of that phone call, you are tired. Because your purpose is not being active. Your purpose is not being active. Understand? Let the purpose become being active. Durga. Being knowledgeable. Saraswati. Simply Lakshmi will happen. Lakshmi for the sake of Lakshmi. Durga for the sake of Durga. Saraswati for the sake of Saraswati. Whenever wealth brings you the idea of not necessary to be active, not necessary to be more knowledgeable, I tell you, it is not Lakshmi, it is Alakshmi. You are caught. I know many born with silver spoon. They are born, never grown. Anybody born with silver spoon, born but never grown. The dirt of ignorance covers you. When the goal becomes something else other than the knowledge, when the goal becomes something else other than being active, you should be active to the level as if you have no muscles. Remember, you don't have muscles. The muscles are just utility for you, like this hand key. I just pick up this hand key to wipe the face whenever I need. Same way, these muscles you pick up whenever you need to do something. Be very clear about that. That is what is the meaning of the word Dvata Shanta in Agamas and in the Pada Puja mantras you chant Dvata Santa Kaila Sonnata Dvata Santa Shyamala Pita. Dvata Santa means the source of you, which is neither inside you nor outside you, which is beyond your inside and outside. So be that. Then you will understand you are muscleless, woundless. The muscles are only there as your instruments, tools. If you think you are muscles, you are wounded, go back. Go back to the source of you. When you started saying yes for being wounded, when you started saying yes for being muzzled, no, you are neither wounded nor made of muscles. You are muscleless, woundless. Decide. Your decision brought you ignorance. Your simple decision will bring knowledge to you. Your decision brought you ignorance. Your decision is enough to bring you knowledge. Your decision brought you laziness. Your decision is enough to get you out of laziness. Your decision brought you boredom. Your decision is enough to make you excited. When you think something more than your decision is required for your knowledge, for your being active, that is when the problem starts. That is when the problem starts. You needed a key to lock the door. You just need the same key to open the door, nothing else. You don't need an elephant and a big teakwood. If you have locked it by a key, you just need the same key to open it. That's all. You think, no, I locked it by the key only. I agree, Swamiji. But just key cannot open this door, Swamiji. It is too big, Swamiji. You are enlightened, Swamiji. Your door can be opened just by the key with which you locked, Swamiji. We are not like that, Swamiji. We need one elephant, Swamiji. We need one big teakwood piece, Swamiji. Tree, Swamiji. We need 20 people to carry the teakwood, Swamiji. And after we put the key, they will have to run and hit the door, Swamiji. Only then it will open. First, drop the stupidity that you need something more to undo the things you have done. No, you don't. If you have become ignorant, just know out of which you become ignorant. If you undo that, that is enough. If you become tired, just know out of which you become tired. If you just undo that, that is enough. If you become bored about life, just see how you became bored, undo that, that is enough. Thinking you need more than what you did to do is needed to undo is Maya. Thinking you need more to undo the things which you did. To do what was needed, more than that you need to undo is Maya. If you think, I need more to undo what I have done, is Maya, delusion. 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 Understand, just know, in your life, if you lost relationships because of not having love, just undo, decide to be loving, you will have more. Don't bother about the people who left. You will have better people. Because now you know the signs of how to lock and open yourself. A person who always loved, never said no also, may be sweet but not spicy. But the guy who said yes and no, both, not only became sweety and spicy. Now, when you start saying yes, you know how to be sweet and spicy. Don't worry. A man who is always saying yes to knowledge may be sweet, may not be spicy. Sometime you said yes, sometime you said no. Now start saying yes with this knowledge. You will be sweet and spicy, both. Who always said yes to being active, he may be sometime workaholic, but sweet, not spicy. You said yes and no. Now start saying yes. You will be sweet and spicy. You don't have to worry. So anything you have done, you just need to put the same level only to undo also. Undoing is not more difficult than doing. Sit today and tomorrow, work on all this, each point. Suddenly you will see so many patterns loosens, so many patterns completed, so much of clarity, depth, knowledge, experience, and the cognition. You are the consciousness. And you will also be gifted all the qualities of consciousness along with the knowledge you are the consciousness. Understand? You will be gifted so many qualities, powers of consciousness. The moment you recognize, you are consciousness. You cognized and forgot. Now recognize, you are consciousness. You will have all those powers of consciousness. With this, I'll move to the next segment of the morning satsang, Dial the Avatar. So by today and tomorrow, I want all of you to do this as a homework and Vakyartha Sadas. Each line of this 8th verse, each theory, each truth expressed in this 8th verse as you by Upanishads. With this, I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Advaita, the eternal bliss, Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nityananda.org, www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.